People are complex. No villain is simple. And in great literature, the great villain is a sympathetic figure. You're kind of on board for 75% of it. And not only that, you might also say, well, if I was in that position, I might do the same thing. Like, it's only a cartoon villain who's 100% evil, right? And so even when you meet someone who's dark and psychopathic to the core, you'll find, and I've had clients who were like, I had one client who had like 5 restraining orders out against him. He was actually quite comical. He's quite a young guy, small guy, kind of slight, extremely intense. You know, he had that kind of human shark thing going. And he was quite the horrible riotous blast to work with, because he was a very interesting monster. And 5 restraining orders is a lot.
Yep.
And restraining orders don't work on the sort of people who need restraining orders. So don't be ever thinking a restraining order is going to help you. Not if a real monster's got you in his sights. And he had a paranoid end to him. And what that meant was, if he was ever insulted by you, he would blow the insult up, and it would put enmity between the two of you. So like, talking to him was quite the nightmare, because you didn't get to make a mistake, and he was hypervigilant because he was paranoid. So he's just watching you like a bloody hawk for every deviation from honesty. And like, I never lied to him. And if I thought he was doing something stupid and terrible, I just told him that looks to me like that's pretty stupid and terrible. Like, I wasn't playing with him, and I wasn't trying to impress him. And I talked to him for a long time. I remember he told me one time about going into a bank, you know, and he met one of those tellers that, you know, you go into an institution sometime, you meet somebody with bureaucratic personality disorder, and they decide that the good thing to do that day is to just screw up your life with some idiot complication just because they can.
My job.
Right, yeah, well, you know, I have to do this. And they're playing their little power game because they're like Dostoevsky's underground man, and they're resentful to the core. And so they're going to just screw around with you. Well, now and then someone would do that with him. And he'd say, I'm going to be your worst nightmare. And then what he meant was, I'm now going to commit a sizable proportion of my life and all my intellectual prowess to making you as miserable as I can possibly imagine. And then he would go do that. And he was an honor code guy. It's like, don't muck with me. And what he meant was, don't muck with me. Now, and he meant it. And there was something admirable about that, you know, even though he was a very dangerous person and he had taken it way too far. But this is what I mean by complexity of the villain. It's like, he had the courage of his convictions, let's put it that way.